skipper, with the trophy, and Steve Carpenter as well of the Panthers. Well done, great weekend for you.
It was excellent. You know, we had two big games this weekend. Saturday was a big one against Ayr in the B&H final in Sheffield, and we came to play. You know, we're a team that comes to play in the big games, and Saturday was no exception.
That's what it's all about, that trophy there with us here in the studio. I mean, was it all worthwhile?
Oh yeah, we played three great teams, and we beat three good teams, and it's always worthwhile. It doesn't matter what kind of trophy you win. If you go through this kind of process of getting a trophy and you win it, it makes it worthwhile.
Now, you couldn't really celebrate because, as you say, you played on Sunday as well. I mean, it's a busy time for you.
Unfortunately, we played Manchester the next night, and we're chasing them for first place in the league. So we did a little bit of celebrating, not too much, but some of the boys did it last night after the game.
Steve Carpenter, you're with us as well. I mean, you guys both come from Canada. How strong is ice hockey now at this time? Nottingham clearly a dominant force, and how strong is the game in this country just now?
Well, I think right now that the game's really picking up pace. We've got Seconda has come in with a big sponsorship. Sky Networks come in with doing a game a week, I think. So these new venues, big rinks are being built, like the one coming here in Nottingham and stuff, and I think the sport's really starting to grow. I think locally you see a lot more young kids kind of following it and getting into it.
And what you really need in this part of the world is, although you're the Nottingham Panthers, I guess you'd like more support, maybe from the East Midlands generally. There's a big support out there, and maybe aren't into ice hockey just now.
Yeah, I think once we get the new rink, we're going to need a lot more fans. I think we'll kind of venture into Derby and those kind of places, you know, that are, you know, within a half-an-hour drive, and try and bring those people into the sport and into, you know, cheering for the Panthers.
And Jamie, finally, you've got half a season left. You're chasing the league as well. What chance is another trophy by the end of the year?
A real good chance. You know, it's nice to get the first one under your belt. Now we can go for the other two. The league's going to be tough. You know, right now we're chasing Manchester, and they're a strong club, and so is Cardiff. But hey, we can do it. We've done this already, and you know, we can do it whatever we want to do.
Hopefully you will, and keep celebrating, but maybe after the next game.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, for
the B&H Cup, they beat the Ayr Scottish Eagles.
The Panthers like this event. They've won it 3 times now, and that after going a goal down against the Ayr Scottish Eagles at the Sheffield Arena. David St Pierre gave Ayr the lead in the first period. But just 23 seconds later, the Panthers were back level. Nottingham's Finnish forward Pekka Virta did the business. Pekka keeping the Panthers' Pekka up. Mike Glazner was happy at that stage. 1-1 then going into the second period. Nottingham injury-strapped, had drafted in a couple of new Canadians, and they got it just right. A second goal from the boy Pekka. The Panthers then lifting the B&H. They'll show it off at the Ice Stadium in Nottingham tomorrow when they play Bracknell in the league.
And in the British National...
And Keith has got his hands on a trophy.
Yes, we're here at the Ice Stadium in Nottingham because the Nottingham Panthers are back home to show off this trophy, the B&H Cup, which they won at the weekend, first league match at home since that victory. But before we talk ice hockey, let's talk football, because Nottingham Forest, my word, what can you say? They lost again at Sheffield Wednesday last night. Afterwards, manager Dave Bassett said they played like a bunch of fairies. His words, I hasten to add, not mine. If we look at the league table, you can see in what dire straits Forest are now. It's difficult to see how they can pull out of it unless somehow they can find some goals and shore up the defence. Here's what happened last night. Steve Landon reports.
If Forest players had shown half the directness and aggression of their manager's post-match comments, they'd have won this game. Instead, Nicholas Alexanderson put Wednesday ahead in the first half, and Bassett had to sit and fume at what he called exhibition football. Benito Carboni, who hadn't scored for ages, made it 2 early in the second half, and Thierry Bonelaire then gave Forest a lifeline shortly afterwards. But as if underlining the manager's doubts about their inability to make the right decisions at crucial times, they let in Carboni again. Pierre Van Hooijdonk, who passes Bassett's ability test but carries round huge question marks over his passion and commitment, showed his quality to make it 3-2. But as Bassett says, nobody, not even he, nor Van Hooijdonk, can wave a magic wand to put things right.
Well, with me now from the Panthers, Steve Carpenter and Jamie Leach, and the trophy as well. Now, Dave Bassett said his team were a bunch of fairies. His words, not mine. Have you ever had one of your teams described in those sort of terms, fellas?
No, not that I can remember.
Definitely not.
Not the sort of terminology usually associated with ice hockey, but let's talk about this trophy and let's talk about the win at the weekend. Tremendous, wasn't it?
Very, very exciting. You know, it was exciting for all the players, the fans. Great support again from the Nottingham. The fan base came up. I think we had about 4,000 or 5,000 people drove up to Sheffield to cheer us on. So it was really, really exciting time for us.
But there's no peace for you, Jamie, because straight after Saturday, league action again, and then again tonight. I mean, what's the life like?
That's just hockey. You know, you play so many games in such a little span of time. You have to fit them all in. And unfortunately, we had to play a big game Saturday, and we won the cup. We didn't get to do too much partying after. We played Sunday, and now we play tonight.
Okay, and no coach tonight. Mike Blaisdell's been banned from the bench. What's the story behind that?
Well, mysteriously, a water bottle came flying off the bench. I don't know who it came from, and since he's responsible for us players, he got the ban tonight.
Was it you who threw it?
No.
Was it you who threw it?
I didn't even make the trip, actually. I was at home injured, so I've got an alibi.
Okay, fellas, thanks very much indeed. Well done at the weekend. Tonight, then, it's the Panthers against the Bracknell Bees at the Ice Stadium in Nottingham. Let's check on all the rest of the day's sports.